guys? This is my 2005 Polaris Ranger, and it has an issue where it won't go into high gear, only low. I was reading a bit and a guy on Instagram helped me out, and this shift linkage housing potentially has some corrosion in it, and the spring inside there will not allow the detent to lock it into high gear. It just grinds. So I've adjusted the linkage all the way out and actually was able to get it into high gear and drive it yesterday. However, now, like quickly after, it just grinds when it goes back into high gear. So we're gonna pull this all apart, and I'm gonna try just pulling this off and drop it one-handed. And everything on here is keyed, so there's a little keyway in here, so it should go back on exactly in the same spot, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see if we can wiggle this off. I have it in neutral as well. All right, let me get two hands on that guy. There it is. See, there's a key right there in that side position, so as long as you get that lined up, can't hammer this back on. Okay, now we'll pull that off. This should be 10mm. This nut was, well, I used a 13, but I thought these were all metric, but I keep finding Polaris using more American 3/8. Yep, 3/8. Good on ya, Polaris. I did not expect American bolts. Oh, okay. This is just no big deal. Just slid right off. It's just keyed to this shaft. There's an O-ring in there too. Five 3/8 bolts. All the guys said this thing's super stuck always, so yeah. I'm gonna wire brush it and then try to get a flathead in there. You don't want to break your housing. This aluminum's kind of fragile. Oh, there we go, something happened. Might tap on this just a hair. Alright, so the idea now is to put some wedges in there, right? So I'm gonna put these screwdrivers in there and then just gently tap on the end of that shaft. And now, before I do that, I'm gonna put the nut on so I don't round off the threads, and hopefully that'll shock that O-ring out. Alright, I'm gonna pull this now, get some big pry bars on there. It's so close. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that spring. This is not great. What did I break though? I heard something. There's a piece of metal there. Alright, so I definitely got the cover off and I definitely found the issue. Look at that spring. There's nothing left of it. This thing is full of crap. I'm wondering what it is. There's like a bunch of this pink stuff. Almost seems like grease. Let's dig around in there a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it is like a grease that's just caked. I mean, look at this. Gasket is gone. So I want to fix this right, because I want this to be reliable in high gear. So I think I'm going to order the O-rings, new gasket, new spring. We'll order all those parts, and I'll try to pull all these out, clean them up. Looks like this is bent a little bit too. Alright, let's get to work. This all, the guy said in the video that this all should pop out. It's all on keyed detent, keyed shaft, so as we go back together the same way. See if we can get this spring out of here. That'll take some tension off. Oh man, there's, did you see that? It just crumbled. There is no spring left. No springiness. No wonder. Amazing. I think that is grease. It's just super old. Probably the original grease. This is a 2005, so we got, what, 16 years on this guy? There it is. Oh yeah. This issue is actually why I got such a good deal on the machine. I mean, this is not anything too crazy, but you know, if you're if you don't want to mess with transmissions, you're not going to look at the linkage. So I got to find out where that O-ring is what I'm trying to do. There's apparently an O-ring. Yeah, right there. There it is. Should be an O-ring on the other shaft as well. We'll bring that one on the bench though. Try to clean that up. Pack this full of waterproof grease. I have this good grease for axles for like dirt bikes and quads and stuff. Holds the water out pretty well. We're gonna try to clean some of this up here. Here's what's left of that spring. This shift sensor still works well. It doesn't, it seems fine. This part seems fine. Yeah, so we're just gonna clean this housing up. Clean this wheel off. There's an O-ring right here we're gonna pull out. Let's actually pull that out right now. Picking there. The other one, this one was actually on the shaft, hardened up on that other shaft. I have an O-ring kit, and we'll see if we can find a replacement. I'm not sure if it's metric or American. I have to check in my book. Yep, just broke. As you saw, we got all the gears cleaned up. I got 2 new O-rings on. I honestly just picked whatever O-ring fit the best. I think one's metric and one's American. It's gonna be fine. This thing only spins there to there. Like, it's not gonna be an issue. Possibly down the road trying to get it off or something, but we're gonna slide this cover on temporarily until, hopefully I don't regret that either, because I need to be able to get this off later. So okay, that's going on pretty easy. So I might just put a couple bolts in, put a piece of tape around this in case it rains. I don't really want to snug them up because it's gonna be pain fighting to get it off again, just like last time. So, and we wait for our part now. And I noticed I'm missing the C-clip on the end there, so I'll have to find something probably similar to what holds the shift linkage. So that's where we're gonna leave it. Check back with you guys in 2 or 3 days or so until we get the parts, because my Polaris dealer is also closed for 2 or 3 days. All right, back on the Ranger. So it's a couple days later. This weathered a few rainstorms, but I got the part. There's the part number if you need it, and all it is this little spring. It's actually pretty stout. It's a good spring. So let's get this on there. Pull this tape off here. Did its job. Yeah, it's just bare metal. I'm actually gonna paint this thing up. Maybe it won't rust as fast. Alright, painted it black. Just to get, I don't know, I just don't like putting bare steel in there. Now, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to pull this all apart. Get this in there. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is what where my head's at. Definitely wear your safety squints on this guy. Oh, it's gone. She gone. Alright. This didn't really work too well. I tried to compress it beforehand. There's gotta be a trick to this. Gotta take this out. I'll be back. Alright, so I got that spring in there. How I did it, I had to take off this side panel for the gas tank. Just made it a lot easier. And then I put this gear pawl thing in at the same time as that. That spring's pretty hard to compress, so you're gonna have to mess with it a little bit. I watched some videos and no one had a good method to putting that in. I tried doing like the zip tie trick, putting it in a vise, tying it down with zip ties to take the tension off and putting it in. That didn't work. It's just too small. So I'll clean this up with a little bit of brake clean, and I don't have the gasket. Couldn't find it online, so we're just gonna use some of this red RTV. Got this old tube laying around. Use it up. I do have the service manual, and the trick it said to reassemble is to tighten this one first to hold the alignment and then do it evenly. So we'll give that a shot. Don't want to put too much here. I don't want to get it in the dowel hole or the threads. Now, I filled this thing with grease pretty good. It seemed like I watched some other guys and in the manual that you don't really have to do that. Fill it with grease. Just put some grease on the O-rings and on the shaft. This stuff you're supposed to wait a minute for it to tack up. Sometimes I just put it on though because it doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's a dowel here and a dowel down there. Let's see if we can get this on. I'm just gonna go for it. Why the gasket doesn't matter much, I hate to say that, but it's because this is just to keep dirt out. It doesn't have to retain oil or anything like that. Now there's supposed to be an E-clip on here. It was missing. I might see if I can find it, but for right now let's just check, see if this thing kind of shifts a little better. Okay, it does not shift easy, so I must be in the wrong cog on the gears thingy. What to do about that? Okay, I guess we're gonna tear it apart. That's high. It's not going backwards. Okay, so this is starting to frustrate me a little bit, but I think I know what the problem is, so thought about it a little bit here. Try this again for the whatever time. So if we look at this, you guys can see it, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 5 pawls. I'm gonna guess we got it. This thing's messed up though. But basically I think we're there. I'm gonna charge it and we'll do a test drive, but I'm gonna fill this all with hot glue, mostly just so it doesn't spin. Right? So that's my fast setting solution, because I don't have any Gorilla Glue. It looks like he used Gorilla Glue, which is smart. Down the road we might change that gasket. That's how it goes sometimes. And I left the key on. Bet you this does not start. Let's see. Neutral. Yep. if it works again. Reverse. New, low, idle down, in gear. It's 2 in a row. Let's go back to low, back to high. Reverse. I think that's the trick. It's got to go all the way to reverse and then high. I'm gonna romp this a little bit, set you guys up. Well, guys, fixed. So that was I don't know, almost 2 years not working. The thing runs great, so I'm gonna go rip it. I think I might fix a few more things, but yeah, thanks for watching. Especially with the Ranger, I just did all that clutch repair and the four-wheel drive repair, and it was running really good. And then we were running it last weekend, and it just stopped. So I'm not sure if it's fuel or electrical, and now it won't start. And that was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and now the battery's dead. So let's jump it, and we'll see if we can find out if it's an electrical or a fuel issue. Alright, so while that's charging up, let's pull the seat out. Kind of idling a little funny, like it's not getting fuel maybe. Just test drove it and it keeps idling down, but I really don't want to turn the idle up. And I don't think it's that low. Maybe it just had some dirt and fuel in it. I'm gonna run it a little bit and we'll see what happens. All right, so we're back on the Ranger, and it's having a hard time starting, and then sometimes it stalls out. So I've been keeping this battery up here to run it. I doubt that this battery right here is bad. It's possible. I did not charge it over the winter because I was running it, but let's see if it's getting 14 volts, like charging voltage. 13, yeah, 13.3, 13.1. It's got to be charging. My next guess is just the starter solenoid, so I bought a new one. It's right down here. There's got to be some sort of draw on this thing too. I think I have a dead man switch I might put on this battery, but I want to put it like in the cab so I don't have to open this up every time. So yeah, so let's throw that new starter solenoid on there and see what happens. Just thought about something. We should check it with it off. 11.2. Okay, so Heck, maybe it is that battery, because I've had it running for 20 minutes and that battery should charge up. Yeah, because it won't start now. Watch. And all the lights go out. Let's check what it is after that. 10.7. Yes, that battery's not holding charge. That thing's not old, like at all. It's 1 year old. It's a good one. It's like Wyusa. Okay, let's pull those off and see if it has like the distilled water things. So I gotta fix this tire. It's been giving me a slow leak. I think I've filled this before. What's nice is this sidewall is so stiff, you could just let the air out. Wasn't much in there anyway. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out, trickle charge it tonight. I'll see if I need to fill the battery. While we're in here, I got this new starter solenoid. Okay, so I bought a new battery. These are on Amazon. I'll put a link below. We'll see how good they are. I had one on one of my motorcycles. It seems like it holds a charge pretty good, but I can't come to any other conclusion except for this expensive battery is bad. I gotta take that bracket off. Alright, what's up guys? So you just saw the 4x4 fix of this thing, but now we've got a separate issue. Actually, we got 2 or 3 different issues. We had a charging issue with the battery. I bought a new one. I think that's sorted out, but now I let it sit for a week or so, and this is a new, brand new actually, ignition switch. And when I've turned to the on position, I'm not getting anything. If I hold it, then I get my functions, and then if I go one more, I get, you know, my start. So it'll start, you know, try to start, but it doesn't stay in the on position. So I just drove it like holding it there, but that's not good enough. You can't use it. That's one issue. The second is the belt is whining really bad, and me and my buddy beat on this for a little bit a week or so ago, and we started to smell some smoke from the belt slipping. And then I was trying to back up a trailer last week and the belt started slipping again. So let's pull this off and make sure all the wires are on it and see if something didn't spin. If not, I guess I'll buy another new one. They're like 10 bucks. It just sucks it's my second one. I don't think I kept the old one. I should have though, because I did replace it because I thought I had starting issues with that, but it turns out it's probably other stuff. So let's pull this off real quick. Got some pliers. There was like a squirrel or something in here. I'm kind of afraid to put my hand up in there. Catch him running out. Oh, and another issue. Winch has been giving me troubles lately, and when we were romping it, it snapped this off. So I think the switch wasn't working before that. My theory was it was on full tension and holding it, and then we went over a bump and it just popped. So I'm gonna try to pull this apart and see if connectors got messed up. Looks like you can spin it. Oh yeah. Got water in it. A lot of water. Well, that makes sense why it's not picking up. I'm gonna try to clean it up, put it back together for now. Fixed it then. One more try. Alright, so that seemed to fix it for now. The fix was switching the springs around. One of the springs was rusted out, the lower one, which holds it in that on position. The start is a little weak, you know, obviously because that spring, I put the shorter spring on the start solenoid, you know, switch. I ordered a new one that should be here in 2 days, but now I can run this thing, which is good. I need to clean up some trees. I just ran it, took the trash out, and man, it wouldn't go back into high gear, and then yeah, the belt is like doing some weird stuff. Like when it's at a complete stop, it'll start creeping like it's dragging, and some other stuff. So pull that cover off again. I really don't want to do this, but check the oil. Yeah, it's good still. Alright, so it's possible to do it without taking this side cover off, but it's so much easier. It's just a couple Torx screws. So let me get all that. What is that? How's that for an extension, huh? Yeah, put it on backwards. I don't even know, man. How does it work, though? Possible the other one was on backwards too. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Either I had the belt on upside down or it flipped. That seems a lot better. Try it without the cover. Well, that worked. Now I've got a brand new belt that's worn out. I'm gonna have to go back and check. You guys will know right away because you'll see the old footage. I can't remember if I put that on upside down or the right way. I got confused because it's supposed to actually have double ribs on the top and the bottom side, and I probably was watching a video and I saw the ribs and put it the other way. But beginner's mistake regardless. It seems to work now. I had way more power actually with it upside down, so maybe that's an old redneck trick. You put that thing upside down to make it run a little faster real quick. So all right, well, that's good and reassuring. That switch is still acting weird. The battery just died again, so put that on the charger, put that cover on, and we should be good to go on this for a little bit. And I did order a new switch. Super easy to put a new one in. I'm probably not going to show it. The winch, I don't know, maybe you guys will see that. Maybe you guys will see this winch repair. I think I can just crimp a new line on the end there, but I got no winch control right now, so I must have blown a fuse. I don't know if I even had one. This thing feels kind of warm. Yeah, that thing's warm. So I must have blown a fuse and I'm draining right now, so I'm gonna have to disconnect that winch. Yeah, it's this one. Yep. So I'm gonna disconnect that winch line right now. All right, so we got that all buttoned back up. I'm gonna power wash this thing since I have the power washer out. I was working on the Bobcat too. Watch for that video. But I mentioned this before in a previous video. I hate how this is open wheel well. Basically, there is no wheel well, and it doesn't really matter on the rear, obviously, but on the front, this stuff just gets caked in mud and rocks. And like the last thing I need is to throw like one rock from here into that gas tank. So I'm gonna power wash all this off, and then I have some rubber matting. I'm gonna probably put it, I don't know, somehow in here with some self tappers. I might have to like link it up to here. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I don't want it visible from the outside, but I wanted to protect, you know, some of this. Obviously we need some airflow in there too, so I don't want to totally box it off, but I just want to protect this. And on this side, you have the dry sump, you know, oil reservoir, and then the clutch stuff too. So I'll put them on both sides. So let's power wash it down. It hasn't been washed for a year or so, so we'll get this cleaned up, and then yeah, and then after that we'll put those mud flaps on, and then I gotta disconnect that winch wire and make sure I do that so it charges up. Hey, what's up guys? So I'm gonna wrap this video up on the side-by-side right now. It's all clean, it's working as it should, and the battery's not discharging, it's starting good. I think what my problem was the winch. It's a Harbor Freight, like cheap ATV winch, and then my my big light bar as well. They were just drawing from the battery, and so I need to put them on a keyed input switch basically, so that they only get power from a relay whenever the key ignition is on, and they're not on all the time. I think that what killed that Wayusa battery, which was pretty expensive, but that cheap Wise battery's been working great. The belt flip, I'm not sure how that happened, if it happened while we were using it or if I put it on backwards, I don't know, but it's working now. And the 4x4 kind of works. I'll have to touch base back with you guys when I run it a bit more to see if I can get it in high gear more often. I mean, the 4x4 works, but it's the high gear that's causing the issue. But yeah, this thing's a beast. I've been using it a lot to work on my property here, and yeah, enjoying it. It's a great machine. If you guys like the side-by-side videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll try to post some more videos as I continue to make this thing more bulletproof, but it's been great for now. The ignition switch, I am gonna use some silicone fitting right here so that it doesn't get any more water in it. And I did purchase a new key switch, which I will install still. But hopefully soon when we get this shop built, we'll get this thing out of the rain and won't have any more issues like that. But yeah, that's it. Thanks again, guys. See you later.